Whoa, Flickpop Nation. Get ready for a whirlwind of news that's about to blow your mind. We're diving headfirst into the political arena with Donald Trump's latest election claims, as he continues to make controversial statements about mail-in voting and California's election integrity. Governor Gavin Newsom has already called out these claims as outright lies, and we're breaking down exactly what Trump said and why it's being challenged. Then, we're shifting gears to disaster relief efforts across the nation. President Donald Trump has approved federal disaster aid for storms and flooding in North Carolina and 5 other states, but we're looking into the delays and the trend of longer waits for this crucial support. Plus, we've got a major win for Trump's administration in the higher education crackdown. UC Berkeley has agreed to provide federal officials with names of students, faculty, and staff tied to allegations of antisemitism, a move that's sparking debate about free speech and safety on campus. And finally, we're taking a chilling look at partisan double standards in the face of tragedy. We'll examine Donald Trump's vastly different reactions to the assassinations of Melissa Hortman and Charlie Kirk, and what it signals about valuing political lives. You do not want to miss this, so hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Trump's election claims under fire. President Donald Trump has once again ignited controversy with his persistent claims about the integrity of mail-in voting, particularly targeting California's election system. Governor Gavin Newsom has publicly refuted these assertions, labeling them as outright lies. Trump's recent statements, made during a Fox News interview, suggest that widespread mail-in voting is inherently rigged and that California's system is fundamentally unfair, leading to skewed results where Democrats allegedly benefit more than Republicans. He also questioned the existence of traditional ballot boxes in California and the security of the 38 million ballots allegedly sent out. However, fact-checkers have found these claims to be largely unfounded. Mail-in voting is a legitimate and widely used method, and while fraud incidence is marginally higher than in-person voting, it remains extremely low. States like Utah, with significant Republican populations, have successfully used mail-in voting without widespread fraud. Furthermore, Trump's reference to a commission co-chaired by Jimmy Carter suggesting mail-in voting is crooked is a misrepresentation. The commission's report, while noting potential vulnerabilities, also highlighted successful mail-in elections and recommended safeguards. California does, in fact, have ballot drop-off locations and in-person voting centers, and the number of ballots sent out is significantly lower than Trump's figure. The state employs signature verification and tracking systems to ensure ballot integrity, countering claims that ballots go unaccounted for. The disparity in vote counts between Democrats and Republicans in California is largely attributed to the state's Democratic majority and Trump's own rhetoric discouraging his supporters from using mail-in voting. Audience impact. These claims have reignited debates about election security and voter confidence, with reactions split along party lines and fueling discussions on social media about the reliability of the electoral process. Stay with us, because the fallout from these political statements is just the beginning. Next up, we investigate how disaster relief is being handled across the nation under President Trump's administration. Disaster aid delays under scrutiny. President Donald Trump has approved federal disaster aid for 6 states and tribes grappling with severe storms and flooding that occurred earlier this year. This aid is crucial for recovery efforts in Kansas, North Carolina, North Dakota, Wisconsin, and for tribes in Montana and South Dakota. However, a closer look reveals a concerning trend: significant delays in the approval process. In most cases, it took President Trump over a month to sign off on these disaster declarations, a pattern that aligns with a recent Associated Press analysis highlighting growing wait times for federal relief. While White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson cited a desire for more thorough reviews to ensure taxpayer money is spent wisely, these delays can have a profound impact on individuals and local governments. Families await funds for temporary lodging and repairs, while officials are left in limbo regarding reimbursement for critical infrastructure rebuilding. This situation is particularly notable in Wisconsin, where Governor Tony Evers requested aid for widespread damage, but only a portion of the request was initially approved, sparking calls for the administration to fully support the affected communities. The varying response times and the selective approval of aid requests raise questions about the administration's efficiency and priorities in delivering much-needed support. Audience impact. Residents in affected areas are expressing frustration over the prolonged waiting periods for essential aid, while officials are urging for swifter action to begin comprehensive recovery. But the administration's actions aren't just about natural disasters. They're also making waves in academia. Get ready, because we're heading to UC Berkeley next. UC Berkeley capitulates in antisemitism crackdown. In a significant move for the Trump administration's agenda, UC Berkeley has agreed to provide federal officials with the names of over 100 students, faculty, and staff implicated in reports of alleged antisemitism on campus. This decision comes as the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights investigates how the university handles antisemitism complaints. For the Trump administration and its supporters, this compliance represents a major victory, intensifying pressure on other universities to address similar concerns. However, the move has ignited fierce criticism from those who argue it infringes upon free speech principles and could chill open discourse, betraying Berkeley's legacy as the birthplace of the free speech movement. Critics point to the university's notification of 160 individuals about their inclusion in federal documents as a potential threat to academic freedom. This development underscores the ongoing national tension between universities' commitments to First Amendment rights and their legal obligations to protect students from harassment and discrimination. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for how colleges nationwide navigate these complex issues. Audience impact. Alumni and students have voiced strong opposition, calling the decision a betrayal of free speech ideals, while advocacy groups like the American Jewish Committee emphasize the right of all students to feel safe on campus. And speaking of sensitive issues, the administration's approach to tragedy is also under the microscope. Stick around as we unpack a stark partisan double standard. Trump's chilling double standard on assassinations. President Donald Trump's reactions to two high-profile political assassinations this year reveal a deeply troubling partisan double standard, effectively suggesting that Republican lives hold more weight than Democratic ones. When former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman was killed, Trump offered only a brief, impersonal condemnation and questioned the value of contacting the grieving governor. However, following the shooting of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, Trump responded with immense urgency, ordering flags lowered to half-staff, announcing a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom, and delivering a fiery address condemning the act and promising vengeance against the left. The contrast is stark and signals to his base that Republican lives matter more. Even more alarming, in a recent Fox News interview, Trump appeared to defend right-wing radicals motivated by a desire to stop crime, while labeling left-wing radicals as the problem. This rhetoric suggests that violence from the right might be viewed as more justifiable or politically sympathetic, echoing past statements that emboldened extremist groups. In a democracy, all political violence is unacceptable, regardless of ideology. Yet, Trump's selective mourning and politicization of these tragedies send a dangerous message about the value of human life based on political affiliation. Audience impact. This disparity in response has drawn widespread criticism and concern, with many interpreting Trump's actions as an encouragement of partisan division and a dangerous precedent for political discourse. We've covered a lot of ground today, from election claims to political violence. Don't go anywhere. Our lightning round recap and full call to action are coming right up. And that's a wrap on today's explosive news. We've seen Donald Trump facing scrutiny over his election claims in California, while also approving disaster aid with notable delays in several states. UC Berkeley has complied with the Trump administration's crackdown on antisemitism, and we've examined a disturbing partisan double standard in the president's reactions to political assassinations. What a rundown! If you found this breakdown as essential as we did, make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up, subscribe to FlickPop for more unfiltered news, and smash that notification bell so you're always in the know. Let us know your thoughts on these stories in the comments below, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms for even more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one.